He cheated in the 2016. He got convicted of it, you know? Now, in the 2020 election, again, this is the best one. The 2020, at least the 2016 election, he tried to at least cover that shit up, right? Like he wasn't doing it in front of everybody. In 2020, that motherfucker did it in front of the world, bro.
So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop.
We want all voting to stop. Guys, real quick, do me a favor. You don't have to do anything in terms of spending any more extra money. Just do your normal shopping using the link below in the description on Amazon. Use your money for things that you need while at the same exact time supporting the channel. And we've got so much to talk about. It's not even funny. Yesterday, Donald Trump, the absolute dumbest president we've ever had in our entire lives, and on top of it, the worst president that we've ever had, who has cheated in the 2016 election, who also in front of the entire world cheated in the 2020 election, and then in 2024 won the election, and somehow, some way, I know he cheated, we just don't know how yet, but yesterday he decided to address the nation and once again whine and complain about the fact that he lost in 2020, calling it all a cheat and a hoax, and that the Democrats are the ones who cheated. You cannot make up the stupidity of this guy. He continues to be the biggest crybaby the world has ever seen. Our entire country is embarrassed by this guy. He is the leader of this country, and he's the biggest bitch whining crybaby this world has ever seen. We're going to go over a lot of it. And guess what else we're going to do? We're also going to go over how the many ways that the Republicans are constantly cheating in every single election, including the upcoming 2026 elections. Yes, that's right. That's all they do is cheat. Every opportunity that they get. We're going to go over how Donald Trump cheated in 2020. I'm going to show you Donald Trump cheating, literally. Like, you cannot make this up. It is always the motherfucking Republicans who continue to cheat their asses off, but yet they say it's the Democrats that are cheating, when in fact, number one enemy for MAGA, facts. In fact, they're the ones who do nothing but cheat every opportunity that they get. And Donald Trump is projecting and confessing when he makes these announcements. And so you're going to see some other Trump MAGA sycophant cronies, accomplices, on tape as well, doing some confessing and some projecting and confessing as well. That's what they do. I mean, you're going to hear them talking about, I don't have a complete idiot. Philip Cinta. He's a Hispanic MAGA. You're nobody on the planet cares what you have to say, bro. But you are talking about my idiot. He says here, you're a complete idiot. I don't have a complete idiot. So I don't know why you're bringing that up. I didn't even bring it. Did I show you my a complete idiot? Because you're talking about it here. Nobody knows what you're talking about, but thanks for bringing it up. I don't have a complete idiot. Okay. Sorry about that. I know. Look, this one right here. This is what they do. They don't know what else to say. So they say the same things over and over. The TDS is strong with this guy. I mean, they all say the same shit, bro. They literally don't know what else to say. So they're just like, oh, what am I going to say to this guy? He says some things that I don't like. I know what I'll say. I'm going to say the TDS is strong with this guy. Yeah, that's what they do. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, Philip and all you other MAGA dummies that are out there, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that come in here. All right. There's only 32 people, not 43 people, just in a matter of 1 second. And there'll be hundreds of people that'll end up coming through, thousands of people that end up coming through. And I'm sure that you're one of the guys. Let me touch on this story real quick, because this is the MAGA in my audience. I'm gonna bring this up right now. This is supposed to be towards the end of the show. But I'm gonna bring it up right now, and then I'll get back to it at the end of the show. Okay. This is your typical MAGA. Okay, let me show you this. Oh man, this is a good one. You guys are going to love this. Here we go. There we go. This is what I want. This is your MAGA guys. Okay, everyone who's in my audience right now that has to deal with a MAGA man, they're very emotional people. You know what I mean? It's a very feminine trait, but you know, they all have to be feminine around each other, I guess, because that's how they're attracted to each other. We know that it's daytime right now. So they're not very gay right now, but later on tonight, when it's dark out, that's when they'll start hunting each other, you know, on Grindr. But they do love to be very emotional, which is, like I said, a very feminine trait. And so, you know, right now they're being emotional with each other. Maybe they'll attract somebody, you know, in the audience while they're in there in the comments. But one of the things that we also know is that they're very nasty people. In fact, you know, like if I were to put up this poll, I was thinking about putting up this poll, but I didn't. I figured I'll do it on another date. But the poll that I was thinking about was, what if Donald Trump raped my daughter? Would you still support him? But I didn't put it up because more people that watch me are not at all Trump supporters. They're just not. Like, I have the MAGA dummies that come in through all the time. But you're not going to be surprised. All of the people that are normal people in my audience, you're not going to be surprised by what I'm about to show you. But if I were to put that poll on there, you're not going to be surprised by what I'm about to show you. But if I put that poll up, you still would not be surprised at the lack of 0% for yes, I would still support him. If I were to put up, if Donald Trump raped my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, I'll put an age to it, my 8-year-old daughter, I would blank still support him or never not support him. One of those two. Still support him should in reality, right? Like in most of our minds, we would think that not support him or still support him would get 0%, right? You would think that? No, they would still support him. And if you think I'm joking with you, take a look at this right here. This is Jesus Chrysler posting this, and it's a retweet from one Bonnie Parker, who asks, would you still support Trump if he raped your daughters? And this is Brad T. Facity who answers. This is the MAGA man for you, okay? If Trump did that to my daughters, forgiving him would break me. But Jesus calls me to forgive as he forgave me. I need his strength every day. It would be the hardest, holiest act of love I could ever choose, but I would still politically support him as my president. Yes. That's who's in the audience with you guys right now. Okay, everybody? That's who's in the audience with you right now. All right? But we're gonna start off with some things over here with Donald Trump and the complete and utter lies that he spoke about yesterday. It's the funniest thing watching this guy bitch and moan and complain every opportunity that he gets. And then he ended up threatening ABC and NBC because they didn't carry it. He was upset that they didn't carry the live speech. He was like, you know, so he decides that he's going to threaten them, you know, like a communists would. That's right. Yeah, because the Republicans are the ones who actually are the communists. They're the ones who act like communists, behave like communists, rule like communists. Donald Trump, because I know that MAGA, they're so fucking dumb. They don't even know what a communist is. But let me explain to you what a communist is, right? A communist controls everything in the country. They own everything in the country. They control everything in the country. They control everything. That's what a communist is. A communist government is. It literally is just occupied by everything, right? And so I could see there's some MAGA men in the audience right now that are like, wow, they're so upset. Look, here goes one right here. You're a weirdo, dude. Yeah, I know, but you're watching me though, which is good. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you adding to the algorithm and getting more people to come in here. But communists behave in a way that you have there's no elevation for anybody. You cannot have your own company. You can't own things. It's just the government. They control everything. And one of the ways that we know, and also everything is gone through one guy, right? Like one guy is a dictator that basically makes the decisions for everything. This is what communists do, right? And what we have in the Republican Party is the fact of the matter, right? Which is what? They want to push everything to Donald Trump. They're doing away with our government. They want nothing to do with our democracy anymore. They're trying to undo everything that our country has ever stood for. They're trying to consolidate all the power to the United States president. Donald Trump is trying to do that. And one of the ways that he loves to do that is by controlling not only companies, because he's also gotten companies to give him, because we know that he's not going to give it to the United States government, but he's saying that it's for the United States government, but they're giving him ownership of their company. Like I think Dell Computers is one of those that actually gave them 10% of the company. And so you could see this mountain of evidence that just continues to accumulate of the Republican Party succumbing to communist rule and communist behaviors, right? And so owning different companies, ruling over everybody, taking away rights. And one of the main ways that they do that is also by controlling the media, right? And what is one of the ways that we've seen Donald Trump wait, look. Oh man, Ike Lewis is mad, bro. He thinks I'm mad. So mad, bro. Relax. He doesn't like what's going on here. So, hey, listen, Ike, you can leave, bro. If you don't like what's going on here, you can leave. I know that you're mad. I know you're a little pissed off right now, right? You're emotional. I get it. That's the way you guys are. But here's the thing that I need for you to really understand, okay? I want you to understand this really, truly, okay? I don't give a flying fuck what you have to say. Anyway, let me continue. I saw that one from the corner of my eye. I thought it was funny. I love the fact that, he's telling me to relax. Like, I'm totally relaxed, making them look like the idiots that they are, exposing them for everything that they are, including what we just spoke about earlier, which is what they are, so willing to forgive Donald Trump, even if he raped their daughter. Like, we know that they're going to do that, right? Like, if I put that poll up, they would be voting for it. They'd be saying, yes, I would. That's the way these MAGA men are, right? And we just saw the tweet from the other guy that, he brings Jesus, he invokes Jesus into it to talk about how forgiving Jesus is. So therefore I should too. That's the way they do it, bro. They act, they think that they're these holier than thou people, Jesus fearing freaks. They are not at all. They don't like Jesus at all. They hate Jesus. And they're the most fake Christians I've ever seen in my life. But the way that Donald Trump wants to try to control is by controlling the media as well. And we know that the oligarchs are another big part of the communist rule. Look at what's going on in Russia. Only the only people that are doing anything and have anything in Russia are the oligarchs. And we know that that's what's happening here. We also know that the oligarchs here are buying up all of the media, right? Like they've bought up CBS, they bought up CNN, they bought up Twitter, right? The only ones that are hanging still left that are not is NBC and ABC. You notice that they didn't air yesterday's grievances by Donald Trump, right? Because the reason why they didn't air it is because it's all lies. Like he didn't like the fact that they didn't do that, so he decides to go ahead and threaten them, which is part of what communism does, right? They want to control the media. They want to make sure that they own all the companies. They control everything. They control the information. They control the media, and that's part of what he did last night by threatening ABC and NBC, which is what, again, I'm going to continue. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this is not, I don't need to be witty about this, right? Like, I'm not going to try to come up with a different way to say this every day. I'm going to say that what I just told you, I'm going to tell you every single time I'm live. And every single time I have a video that I put out, there will be at least one aspect of Republicans cheating. I don't need to come up with a new way to say it. I will say it the same exact way every single time. And there's a lot to go over today, so let's get to it. This is Donald Trump with his lies last night, and we'll go over each and every lie as he continues to say them. This is the first one. This is from Aaron or Asen tweeting this out. This is Donald Trump's lies.
Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
Which, of course, he did not do any of those things. Anybody notice that part? No, he didn't do that. What he did talk about and what he did release was basically, this is sir, what is this? Was sir something here? Sir, this is Wendy's. So, sir, this is Wendy's. You keep on putting NBC as a joke. We get it. I understand. Like, you don't like NBC. You don't like news, though. You don't like reality. You don't like facts. You don't like truth. So there's a problem with those things with you, right? Like, you don't like those things. I bet you anything you really love Fox, though, don't you? But you can stop putting that. We get it. You know what I mean? Like, we understand. You're a little upset right now. But he didn't release anything at all whatsoever. Now, one thing that he did release, though, he released documents that did prove that the investigation, all by the way, everything that he released was just what the investigations thought. Like, this is what we think is happening. One of them was that, yes, Donald Trump was helped by the Russians in 2016 and also in 2020. He speaks about China left and right? Like, he's going to talk about China, and the investigation found that China, just like anybody else, tried or thought, they actually thought about it, but they didn't really interfere as much as what Russia did. And when Russia did, it was to help Donald Trump. That's literally what these documents say, but he's not going to talk about that. That's all he did was do that. Most of what he did in terms of quote unquote evidence was him saying it, which is enough for the MAGA dummies in my audience. That's all he has to do is say it. And these idiots completely and utterly believe it, hook, line, and sinker. But let's continue. This is Donald Trump with his lies.
This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference.
Remember at the beginning of the video when I said that this is going to be nothing but projection and confession? That's what that is right there. Now, again, I don't know how Donald Trump cheated in 2024. I know how he cheated in 2016. He was convicted of it. You know what I mean? Like, MAGA dummies in the audience right now are going to tell me that that's not true and it's a lie. It didn't even happen. They don't even know that Donald Trump was convicted. He's a convicted felon, right? The reason why he was elevated to a felony and then convicted 34 times of it was because he interfered in the 2016 election. These dummies don't even know that. They have no idea that even happened. Ask them. They literally ask your nearest dummy, like this one right here. Look at this one right here. What? Bro losing sleep. Hey, dummy. Did Donald Trump get convicted of 34 felonies? He doesn't even know. I bet you anything. I can't get back to his comment because I have more things to talk about. But everyone watching in the comments, watch out for Kiki here and what she says. Hey, Kiki, did Donald Trump get convicted of 34 felonies? They don't even know. They don't even know that happened. But anyway, we know that he cheated in the 2016 election because he was literally convicted of it. They brought in witnesses, the whole 9 yards, the editor-in-chief of the Inquirer to talk about the plan that Donald Trump and him came up with to write all these articles and put it right at the article, right there at the end of the aisle when you guys are leaving the supermarket, you know what I mean? And you see these big plastered articles about Hillary Clinton and this, that, and the third. He cheated in the 2016. He got convicted of it, you know? Now, in the 2020 election, again, this is the best one. The 2020, at least the 2016 election, he tried to at least cover that shit up, right? Like, he wasn't doing it in front of everybody. In 2020, that motherfucker did it in front of the world, bro. Right in front of MAGA. These MAGA dummies. He did it in your stupid faces, bro. He did it in front of your face, bro. I mean, he started it. This was another thing I was going to get to a little bit later. He started it on election night. Let me show you this. This is election night. Watch. This was election night. I'm going to show you this. I mean, it's hysterical. This is election night right here. This is on election night. What does he do? He says on election night, we need to stop counting the votes. Watch. This is Donald Trump on election night.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country.
Because he's a whining bitch who lost and he cannot handle it. This is him on election night, whining and complaining. Watch.
We were getting ready to win this election.
Except you lost. That's what happened. And you couldn't continue with your celebration Because you lost. But he continues.
Frankly, we did win this election.
Frankly, we did win this election.
No, you didn't. You lost.
We did win this election. So our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation.
The integrity he wants to ensure for the good of the nation. You lost. You lost the election. That's what happened. But, you know, if he wins, though, everything is fine. And we'll go over that as well. But you see, he lost in 2020. That's what happened. But listen.
This is a very big moment. This is a major fraud in our nation. We want the law to be used in a proper manner.
We need for the law to be used in a proper manner. In other words, I need to make sure that I can cheat and hold on to power, even though I lost.
That's Donald Trump.
So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop.
We want all voting to stop. We want all voting to stop. That's Donald Trump on election night. That's how he first started his grift. That's how he started his cheating. Literally on election night. That's election night right there.
We want all voting to stop.
But what he's meaning there is the voting count, the counting of votes. He didn't want the votes to be counted anymore.